everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new, what is up? My name is Kendall, aka Fierce to Fit, and today I have a super highly requested video. It's one that I get a lot of questions about on a daily basis, and one that I always thought to myself I might not be credible enough to answer until I realized that I've been through absolutely everything that I'm going to talk about. And not only that, I've done so much market research, and I continue to do that and invest in mentorship to learn more about it. And that is my online coaching business. So if you guys don't know me, I'm pretty much gonna cover my story of how I started my online coaching business. I also have my Strive for Strength podcast. If you guys haven't listened to the first episode, I definitely dive a lot more in depth about my whole entire journey. But for this, I kind of wanna share a little bit of my journey, but how I truly started and got my first few clients, because this is just a question that a lot of people ask, and if I can help you avoid the mistakes that I went through and actually help you niche down and, you know, find who you want to work with and be able to succeed with that and not take a traditional route in life, then cool, dude. That's what I want to do. So my name is Kendall. I live in San Diego, California. I am 20 years old, and I am a full-time online health and fitness coach. And it wasn't always like that for me. So I currently moved across the country. I don't live with my parents. I'm independent, and I basically run this business pretty much by myself up until this last week, which is super exciting. I have some good news for y'all. So I guess I'll kind of start with like my story and tell you guys a little bit about how I developed my business and how I got to where I am now, and then share a little bit of the first steps that you can actually take in order to stop doing what society wants you to do, to conform to what the world wants you to do, and actually pursue what it is that you want to do. So when I was 15, I was diagnosed with an eating disorder. I have a video if you guys want to go back and look at it, but basically after recovering, long story super short, after recovering, I really just found a love for the gym, for bodybuilding, and I knew that I just wanted to teach other people that they didn't have to suffer like I did, and not necessarily help girls recover, but at least help women feel strong, empowered, and freaking love their bodies, because that's exactly what I was able to do through the power of bodybuilding and lifting and just finding a love for the gym. So I actually started posting on my Instagram when I was like 17 years old, and at that time I also knew that I wanted to get my personal training certification and in-person train while I was just like in school and going to college. So I graduated from high school, turned 18, got my NASM CPT because I knew I wanted to train. Online coaching wasn't really a thing back then. It was like very small because Instagram wasn't that big back then. And so I consistently posted on my Instagram page and was always sharing my story, sharing my own transformation, how I got there, and continuously like educating people about training, nutrition, the stuff that I had learned and was continuing to learn. And basically went off to college when I was 18 years old. I was in the bathroom stall one day, and my first client, her name's Vicky. Vicky, if you're watching this, awesome. She actually was talking in the bathroom stall, and I was like, hey, I'm actually like a personal trainer. She was talking about how she wanted to lose weight. I was like, I would love to like give you a free session, and gave her a free session. Long and behold, she became my client. I trained her on a weekly basis for like next to nothing. And I just really found a love for in-person training. And I also at the same time was posting on my Instagram. So at this point I was in college and I was a dietetics major. Unfortunately, I was in the honors college at the local community college, and they didn't have dietetics, so they just put me in like the liberal arts classes for the honors college, and unfortunately it didn't line up with the credits I needed for dietetics. So essentially I was behind a year, and I hadn't even completed a year because I was in my second semester, and I was like, oh, F this. So I'm changing my major. So I changed my major to exercise science, and I figured I'm already in-person training. I don't want to be a PT or OT, and that's all I can pretty much do if I want to do like preclinical exercise science. So I was like, F this, I'm gonna figure my stuff out. And at the same time, I had girls reaching out to me on Instagram like, wow, your story is amazing, like your transformation is awesome, how can I do that, like can you help me? And I was like, sure. So I took on like a few clients for like $50 a month, literally like $50 a month starting off, and I was like doing check-ins with them over my cell phone. It was hilarious. So unprofessional when I look back at it. And at the same time continued in-person training and competed in my first NPC show, and then when summertime came around, I knew I was gonna have to take Chem 2 over the summer and it was gonna consume my life and I was miserable. So I was like, Dad, I'm gonna apply for jobs, in-person training down in Florida and for the summer, and if it works out, I'm not going back to school. If it doesn't work out, then I'll come back home. And my sister lived in Florida. I went and moved down with her for the summer and I knew I had to get my shit together, so I started pushing online coaching hard. I was like in-person training, draining myself dry, but like that gym was incredible, taught me so much about like the body, different areas of training outside of just bodybuilding, which was super cool to see. And I basically really like honed in on who I wanted to work with as my ideal client online, and really started reaching out to other women who I knew I could help. So I started building up my online coaching presence, and I established myself as authority in the coaching world, and I knew that I was gonna deliver and I knew that I could serve women. So that's exactly what I was like, hell, I'm gonna do this thing. And by August, I told my dad, hey Dad, I have a month left, but I'm telling you right now, like I'm not going back to school. He's like, I'm so freaking proud of you. And at the same time, I actually went to the Olympia and met my boyfriend, my current boyfriend, and we flew to, because we were at, in Vegas. I ended up flying back out to LA like 2 weeks after I met him there because I'm just a crazy person. And when I came back, he was like, you need to quit your job. So I quit my job at the in-person training gym and was making enough money to kind of hold me over with online training. And then moved out to California on a whim and ended up moving to San Diego in January of this year. And in January was when I would say the biggest like pivotal point of my business happened. I really found and did a lot of market research from my previous clients, my current clients, about what it was that they needed to learn. And I took all the frequently asked questions that they had, everything that they really truly needed to learn, and I structured it into a program. And from doing that, I was able to focus on really like automating that part of things so that I could really focus on just getting more clients and helping more people. And so my business started to grow, and little do I know, here I am almost a year later, and I have a multiple six-figure business by age 20. And I've been through some shit. I've worked with accountants, I've worked with lawyers, financial advisors, and I even recently just spent probably what majority of people would spend on college tuition on a mentor, which has made such a drastic change for me. So that's where I'm at in my current business. You're probably wondering, Kendall, how the heck did you get there? So now I just want to give you guys some actionable steps and some takeaways that you can kind of start implementing if you are looking to get into online business and you are looking to get into online coaching. So my first thing is, don't freaking listen to everything that everyone has to say to you. It's really hard when anyone who's not a millennial or a Gen Z or anyone who's a little bit younger or has presence in the online world understands, because not all of our parents are gonna say, oh yeah, that online business thing, like you can definitely make a living doing that. They're gonna be like, what the heck, you're stupid, like go get a real people job. And little do they know, like this is what creates personal freedom. Like this is what actually allows you to serve way more people. Like I served probably 20 people in that in-person training gym, whereas like I have access to almost 200,000 people just from my following and billions of people all over the world from Instagram. Like I have clients in New Zealand, I have clients in Australia. Shout out all of y'all because I love y'all. And it just shows you like, wow, there's so much more opportunity. Like I'm not confined to like just working with this like small group of people. And so the first thing that I want you to do is not listen to what everyone else says. Be courageous, take this first step. If this is truly what you want to do, you have to work hard for it. People don't see what goes on behind closed doors. I work sometimes 10 hours a day. Up until I have my 2 team members now that I've hired, it's been so hard. I've literally done everything, gotten back to every single client. At one point had, you know, almost 100 people on my team, and I was managing all of them and still trying to build personal relationships with all of them and wearing myself thin. So the biggest thing that you can start off by doing is focusing on really finding out who you want to work with. For me, I geared my content on Instagram towards people who were similar to me because I was sharing my story, and those were the people that were my ideal clients. And so the first thing that you want to do is really figure out who you want to serve and what kind of content that you want to provide. So many people who want to be an online coach are so focused on you know, getting a high Instagram following. It's not about having a huge Instagram following. Yeah, I might have a pretty big Instagram following. I might be considered an influencer, but that doesn't mean that that's why I get all of my clients. I put out content that I know is gonna help people, and that's how I got my first few clients. So if you share your story, and if you're vulnerable, and if you're open and provide content by doing that, then people are gonna start to even reach out to you. The second thing that you really wanna make sure that you do is have some kind of call to action. So many people are like, oh, I wanna start online coaching, I just don't know how. Well, put out an inquiry. Why don't you tell people, hey, this is my application form, set up an application form. I'll link them down below. Typeform is a great one for you to use. You can even use a Google or a Google Doc to do it. It's a matter of doing a call to action. So be brave, be bold. Like if you want people on your team, if you wanna help people, then you need to make a call to action to help them. They're not gonna know that you can provide a service to them if you don't put it out there. So you need to make a presence as far as it goes with being an online coach. So it really comes down to who you wanna provide for and exactly what it is that you wanna do for them and having a call to action. The next step is definitely having some form of organization when it comes to bringing a client on. You wanna know what you're gonna provide for them, what your philosophies are. So, you know, do you track macros? Do you intuitively eat? You know, all of those things when it comes to training and nutrition. But the first thing is providing free value to them via your content, via your Instagram captions. Get on an Instagram live, you know? Get on IGTV. Make sure that you're putting yourself out there and showing up as yourself, being authentic, because that is what people wanna see. People wanna see you be you. And if they resonate with that, awesome. But you're not gonna be a good coach for everyone. You wanna be working with people who you know are gonna be on your side. And for me, that's like truly what helped me, because I knew the girls that I was gonna be working with went through similar things that I did, and now we're at a place that they just needed a little bit of extra help, and I was able to do that for them. So get educated, get good content out there, get good free content out there, and do your call to action, because that's the only way that you're ever going to grow your empire. So don't be afraid to make choices that are bold, that are scary. I'm not saying that online coaching is for everyone. I'm not saying personal branding and making an online business is for everyone. But if you truly, truly love helping people and you are ready to put in some hard ass work, then you don't have to take the traditional route. And so if you guys ever need any help with any of this, please let me know. I'm gonna start an email list that I'm gonna put the link down to below. And if you guys want to subscribe to that email list, I'm basically going to put out weekly emails just helping you with providing better content for people, helping you if you want to start an online personal brand or coaching business or anything of the sort. So if you guys subscribe to that, that'd be awesome. It's free information. I'm here to help you. And if you ever have questions, don't be afraid to reach out to me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you guys want to see a little bit more about like online coaching or online business, give this video a thumbs up. I know it's a lot different than what I'm used to providing you guys with, but I've just gotten an overwhelming amount of people asking for it. So thank you again for watching this video. As always, guys, love y'all, and I will see you in the next one.